Beneath the shrouded skies of Ozton Isle, where the sea hummed faintly with the pulse of the coreway, Eretor sought the truth that haunted his aunt. He found Verisa standing at the island's edge with the wind pulling at her hair, her thoughts fixed on the whispering remnants of the Radiant Song. She had come hoping the coreway's nearness might unravel what the visions had begun. Yet as the waves washed against the rocks, other memories rose instead. Dalaran's fall lingered in her like a wound that refused to close. Before Eretor could speak, she drew from her cloak her husband Ronan's locket, and with a quiet farewell cast it into the restless sea. The moment it left her fingers, the song seized her again.
Verisa!
Eretor? Where are you? No! The screams! The horror! Stop! It's too much! I cannot bear to see this!
Eretor rushed to her side, calling on the light to steady her spirit, yet even that brief moment of calm shattered as figures emerged from the broken shoreline. Twisted acolytes of the Twilight's blade closed in, blades gleaming with hungry purpose. Eretor and the outsider met them steel for steel, pushing back the cultists while Verisa struggled to rise. By the time she found her feet again, the tide had shifted, and the attackers were removed from the ruins. Following the assault on the area, the custodians who were still sifting through what remained of Dalaran's shattered legacy were saved. But the vision lingered, etched in Verisa's eyes, and Eretor knew its weight would not fade on its own. He urged that they seek Alleria, for matters of the void had grown beyond any one of them, and Xalatash's shadow stretched longer with each passing hour. Khadgar's portal scroll tore open a passage to Tazesh, though Verisa hesitated. She doubted her sister would return to Azeroth, knowing Alleria's solitary hunt and the ever-present danger her void-bound nature posed to the Sunwell. When Eretor asked if Sylvanas might aid them instead, Verisa could only answer with quiet certainty. Whatever her sister's intentions, the Maw held her fast. With their paths divided, Verisa turned toward Dornegal to wait and gather her strength, while Eretor and the outsider stepped into the shimmering portal to find his mother. The markets of Tazesh carried their own currents of rumor and profit, but beneath the commotion, the brokers listened. Eretor's questions earned only cautious glances until he was directed toward Magister Umbric, one well-versed in the uncertainties of the void. When he heard of Verisa's vision, Umbric's resolve sharpened. The Void Elves, he declared, would not stand idle if their homeland faced the Shadow's return. Silvermoon, whatever its history with them, was still theirs to protect. He revealed that Alleria had last been seen in the Fracture of Lacuna, pursuing a rising lieutenant of the Shadow Guard. With purpose renewed, Eretor set out with the outsider toward the Fracture while Umbric returned to Azeroth to muster his kin. The Fracture greeted them with silence, an eerie stillness broken only by the echo of shifting void currents. Ahead, at the edge of the clearing, Alleria appeared to be kneeling. Relief surged in Eretor's chest, and with the outsider at his side, he hurried forward, calling softly to his mother. Only when they drew near did the truth unravel. The image wavered, its edges blurred as if caught between worlds. Before confusion could give way to warning, runes flared to life beneath their feet, and the likeness of Alleria dissolved, revealing a projection left behind, a memory transformed into a snare. Before the snare could fully tighten, Alleria herself burst from the shadows, bow drawn, eyes bright with the void's restless fire. Eretor wasted no breath, telling her of Verisa's vision.
Is this true? Verisa had a vision of Azeroth being attacked?
Yes. The vision wasn't quite clear, but she said some of the buildings resembled Silvermoon. If Quel'Thalas is in danger, it is our family's responsibility to defend it.
Eretor, I'm exiled from Silvermoon. My mere presence would place the Sunwell in danger. This is where I need to be. hunting Xalatath's lieutenants and tearing her secrets from their minds.
Alleria's hunt for one of Xalatath's lieutenants, Shadowlord Vasheen, had to continue, and so Eretor and the champion helped her hunt her prey. As the hunt drew them through the shifting gloom, the rift between mother and son grew starker still.
What's so important here that you can't return to Azeroth? Even Umbric has recalled the Riftwalkers.
All the more reason for me to remain. After Locust Walker, few can hunt the prey I'm after, and fewer still can extract their knowledge. It has to be me.
Eretor, frustration burning in his voice, threatened to seek Sylvanas' help instead if his mother would not stand with him. That name brought a chill. Alleria warned him that to enter the Maw was to risk more than body or mind. It was to gamble one's very soul. Yet Eretor answered with his own certainty. Barisa believed Sylvanas would one day return and defend their home. The weight of old wounds lingered between every word. When at last they cornered Vasheen, it became clear the Void Lord's ambitions were vast. He meant to rain destruction on the Void Elves from the skies above Shandara. Knowing his next move, Alleria spun her next snare and sent the champion to bargain with Venari for a new cage, while she and Eretor hurried toward Shandara to lay the groundwork. With the cage secured, Alleria began her preparations, weaving sigils while Eretor and the champion slipped through the gloom to weaken Vasheen and mark him with a teleportation tag. The battle that followed was swift but perilous. When Vasheen fell, Alleria moved to bind him, wringing knowledge from his shuddering form.
Where is Xalatath? Where is her army?
I am the master here. You are nothing, elf.
I see it in your mind. The devouring host, lurking in the void. Whatever they call themselves, they can't hide from me.
The truth she tore from him was grimmer than either wished. Xalatath now commanded a new host, the devouring host, whose hunger would stretch far beyond the night. Cornered and defeated, Vasheen lashed out in desperation, focusing his spite on Eretor. The champion intervened, turning the tide and sparing Eretor from a fatal blow. Fury flared in Alleria's eyes at the threat to her son.
I will kill you! Xalatath will take nothing more from me!
You have no idea.
Did you get the information you needed?
I got enough.
With Vasheen's secrets revealed, Eretor's path grew clearer.
Silvermoon needs the Windrunner sisters. If you won't come back, then I have to seek out Sylvanas.
Eretor, I know I can't stop you. Just don't lose yourself in the Maw.
He asked Venari for aid entering the Maw, and the broker, always eager for the right price, revealed a lingering wellspring of energy in Tazesh, enough to sustain a narrow passage into that forsaken realm. Before he stepped away, Alleria watched her son with a blend of worry and pride, remarking how stubbornly he mirrored his father's will. Eretor met her gaze with a crooked smile, reminding her he bore more than Turalian's steadiness. He carried her own rebellion too. It sparked a moment of remembrance. Alleria confessed her own flight from Quel'Thalas. Now in her absence, Sylvanas had risen to lead, and how history turned in ways none could foresee. Eretor gently reminded her that regret changes nothing, that none of them could have known how the story would unfold. Alleria nodded, conceding that what's done cannot be undone for any of them. As the portal to the Maw flared open, Venari offered a warning. While the champion might cross the Maw's waste unscathed, Eretor would do well not to linger. The boundary between choice and consequence, between light and shadow, thinned as Eretor set his sights on new darkness, each step carrying him further into the unknown. Within the Maw's bleak expanse, Eretor pressed onward, the void-thick air biting at the spirit, every footfall echoing where the dead found no peace. He and the champion soon glimpsed the full horror of Xalatath's design. The devouring host, drifting and ravenous, feasting upon the tattered souls of the lost. The pair fought their way through the writhing ranks of void spawn, the battle carrying them deeper into ruin until a strange melody drifted over the carnage. Drawn by the haunting notes, they followed a trail of fresh baskets and the husks of fallen voidwalkers, hope kindling that only one Windrunner could be the author of such signs. At Ruin's cradle they found her, Sylvanas, pale as memory, the Banshee's edge softened by time and purpose. At first, her gaze lingered on Eretor with a confusion of old wounds, seeing in him the ghost of her brother, Lyrith. Then the truth dawned. She marveled at how much her nephew had grown, yet her words remained guarded, armor forged in loss. Eretor spoke plainly, telling her why he had come, that their world called for the Windrunners again, that her strength was needed beyond these tormented halls. Sylvanas studied him as one weighs a distant horizon. To her, he was still the child she remembered, innocence untouched by Maw or Void. The Maw is no place for sentiment, she told him, her voice ironclad, but neither is the Void. If you wish to prove your resolve, let it be tested here. Together, they faced the last of the Void's incursion, driving the darkness back from the Maw's broken heart. Yet as victory fell quiet, Sylvanas' command was sharp. Eretor should leave this cursed place. He refused, demanding a true conversation before he would turn away. As they guided lost souls through the wastes, Eretor studied the spires and remnants around them, struck by echoes of a world he barely understood. Sylvanas agreed, speaking of what she had seen beyond Death's Veil, a realm vaster and stranger than any dared imagine. When Eretor questioned her devotion to the restless dead, knowing how many in the Maw will spat her name, Sylvanas' reply was measured but fierce. Isn't it obvious? This is my penance. But more than that, it is my purpose. Not to rule, not to avenge, but to help the lost move forward, one soul at a time. Some followed her willingly, finding solace in the melody she spun on her harp. Others recoiled, scars too deep to heal, yet still drawn by the gentle pull of her song. As the champion gathered the last reagents for her, Sylvanas wove a melody that called the souls to her baskets, her harp's notes guiding the wary from shadow to peace, allowing them to slip away from the Maw's grasp. Only when the last spirit had passed on did she turn to Eretor in full. He spoke of Varisa's vision, of Silvermoon's looming peril, and how Quel'Thalas still needed the Windrunner name.
And the people of Teldrassil, how would they feel about my return?
You've done terrible things. I won't deny that. But what good is penance if it leads to more harm? I've seen what you do for the souls who are trapped here. I could vouch for you, help convince...
Your fellow paladins may call you the Redeemer, but I do not seek redemption. I have worn many titles myself. Ranger General, Dark Lady, Banshee Queen, War Chief. I set them all aside when I descended into the Maw. My place, my duty, is here, not among the living. You say Quel'Thalas needs a Windrunner. So go, Eretor. Be a Windrunner.
Sylvanas. Very well. I think I understand.
But before the champion left the Maw, Sylvanas wanted a quick word with them.
Thank you for tempering my nephew's exuberance. He's skilled, but tends to rush into danger. It runs in the family. Eretor is correct about one thing. I am a Windrunner. And I have not forgotten where I came from. But as I told him, now is not the time for me to return to the world of the living. You have noticed, have you not? The Maw, the Shadowlands, all of it. The question that has plagued me since the jailer's demise. I know the truth of death better than most. This, it is too convenient, too ordered. I have made many foes on the path that brought me here. Most of them once called me an ally. I do not regret the choices I've made. nor do I bear ill will toward those who met me with their fangs bared. But know this, I cannot stop now. I must not stop now. Or all I have done will have been for naught. Return to Azeroth, fight the battles ahead of you. One day our paths will cross again.
When Eretor at last emerged from the maw and found himself once more in the tangled markets of Tazesh, he bore with him more than exhaustion. There was a deeper understanding etched into his heart. He sought out Alleria, meeting her where the shadowed alleys gave way to flickering light. Quietly, he admitted that she had been right. Sylvanas would not walk their path. But he added, with a conviction sharpened by what he had witnessed, that both his aunts were bound by more than stubbornness. They were sisters sharpened by darkness, both wary of its pull, yet neither wholly lost to it. He told his mother that Sylvanas, for all the scars she bore, was still a windrunner at her core. Alleria's eyes softened, pride and regret mingling as she thanked him for seeing the good in others, for holding on to hope. She was grateful, too, that Varisa had raised him with a gentleness the world too often forgot. Eretor promised he would deliver those words, and then with purpose renewed turned his path back toward Dornegal. When he reached his aunt, Eretor carried no triumphant news.
So, you've seen them both then. I'm sorry you couldn't sway them.
I may never fully understand why my mother or Sylvanas choose to walk alone, but I can respect their decisions. I can't imagine what each of them has gone through. My own life has been tranquil by comparison.
As was Alleria's wish, that you enjoyed the halcyon youth that we never could.
A wish you granted 1,000 times over. She wanted to thank you for that.
Yes, well, perhaps one day she'll thank me in person.
And so, with old wounds acknowledged but not healed, the two set out for Quel'Thalas together, their steps lightened by the knowledge that, whatever burdens the past had carved, the way forward could still be walked side by side.
Mistress, I have come to offer myself in service. Please.
Oh, you will serve me. I went to a lot of trouble imbuing this bauble with untold power. Now yours shall be added. For 100,000 years, I have planned for this moment. Let the way be opened to my prize.
That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for checking it out. Please, do take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.